What's going on, traders? Yes, you made it to the one, the only happy hour with Money Mitch. You guys already know I went downstairs, grabbed myself a beer, get myself started. This is the stories of the week, but we're not really all about the trading, more along the stories. You guys know how I am, and I talk about that story is everything. Today, we're going to talk about the story of AMC's earnings, Disney's earnings, DraftKings NFTs. We'll talk a little bit about Bitcoin pushing back up. And if you guys hit the like goal, we get to the like goal of 100 likes, we'll get into a special question at the very end. Let's go ahead and bring on my man, John London from Beginner Trading. What's going on, man?
What's up, brother? Hey, good to be here, man. Good to be here. We got some fun topics in the market. It was a fun week. It was slow in the overall market, but we got some fun topics, some of my favorite things ever. So I'm excited to talk about them for sure.
Definitely. I mean, we're going to talk about everything. It's a big beer. It's just a regular beer. This is a 60-minute IPA. I talked about this one last week. This is a Sharkhead. Dogfish. Yeah. 60-minute. And one of the things that I like about the 60-minute is not so bitter. Just keeping it simple today. Got to go to the gym maybe a little bit afterwards. We'll see. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the first topic, which was AMC's earnings. I mean, at the end of the day, the earnings weren't that bad, but what was really interesting me, it was a couple of things there. So the first thing first was kind of the Bitcoin talk. Did you see how, you think you're going to be buying your popcorn and your movie ticket with Bitcoin, John?
I don't know, bro. I think it more boosts positive sentiment more than anything. I don't think I'm going to be using Bitcoin at the theater, but I think at this point they're kind of throwing that line out there to all these different types of investors, and this is where they're getting some Bitcoin favor in there, and I think that's what they're probably doing with this. But I think overall it's a good thing. It's a good thing for Bitcoin. Big names are big names, and it's good for Bitcoin. It's good for AMC, and especially with their positive earnings. I think the apes should be happy with that. I think they needed that, especially hovering right around $30 a share. I think it's good for AMC.
Yeah, I was watching it today. I actually started thinking that this was going to break out today. It didn't do too bad today. I mean, we've started to push at least out of this hourly trend. I want to see it hold the 9 EMA now, really push up there towards 35. But I mean, talking about the Bitcoin thing, I mean, I think one of the things that I felt like, and did you listen to that earnings call? I don't listen to many of these, John, but I listened to that one a little while, and man, I was going crazy because as the CEO, he was just like, I've never heard a CEO stutter so much. I mean, I think he was fishing.
He knows. He's trying to get some buys, man. That's what he needs it. I get it, man. He's politicking. I get it. I understand it. They need buyers in AMC. The ape crowd has already bought it, and now they need more than that if they want to, see a move up. I know there's a lot of talk about a squeeze, but 16% short float. There can be a squeeze, but they need some buys, and they got buys. So overall, it's good.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Bitcoin thing was interesting. One of the things that was a good sign was they did twist the arm of Warner, HBO, where they've gone and they've actually made kind of a deal again where after 2022, their movies wouldn't be going to that HBO on-demand feature. I think this is really massive for them because if this is the battle now, I think, once we've already gone to this, can you really take it away from the consumers and the consumers not be upset? I think they are going to be upset. I think it's going to be a battle here of how much can they get and how much can just come out directly to the consumer. So, DTC, I mean, direct to consumer ways is I think the move nowadays that you see actually be the most beneficial. And we saw it from the Disney earnings. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up, but I think it's going to massive move. This is the battle. Does Warner change their mind, or is this kind of a binding agreement? That's kind of what I would really want to know. Need to find out a little bit more about that agreement because I think it's massive for the movie industry. If they can keep exclusive, that's what used to bring me to the movie theaters. If I wanted to see a movie and not wait 3 months, that's why I went to the movie theater. If I want to think about it, it wasn't because the movie theaters were nice. It wasn't because the popcorn is that good. It was because there was exclusivity.
Right. You got hyped for the movies, man. I'm a movie buff myself. I love movies, and if the only way I can watch a movie I really want to see is at the theater, I'm going to the theater. But if it's at home on my couch, without spending $30 on popcorn, I'm gonna pick at home on my couch, And so I think that them moving away from that and getting that exclusivity is good, and that's what AMC needs.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all loved the movies at a point in time in our lives and enjoyed it. I mean, when I was younger, I mean, let's just say I didn't pay for many and just stayed all day, but I maybe owe AMC some movie tickets. Don't come after me, AMC.
LimeWire.
But hey, we'll definitely see. One thing I definitely think that they did was that securing that deal alone just helps them out, because if they're able to get some exclusive movies back in the movie theaters, I think that's how you really, in the long run, when we get out of the pandemic, really get people back into the seats.
For sure.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into the next topic. I want to get into Disney. Disney's earnings, hey, huge beat, top and bottom line. 80 cents versus 55 cents expected on earnings per share. 17.02 billion versus 16.76 billion dollars in revenue.
Killed it.
billions, guys. There's a reason why they call it the House of Mouse. I mean, definitely you can see it from their numbers. They're definitely kicking it out of the water. Their subscriber numbers, can you believe them? I mean,
man.
They're killing it. They're killing it on subscriber numbers. They had here, they reported 114.5 million subscribers for the third quarter, and the segment had 103.6 million in the fiscal second quarter. So they even beat the last quarter. They're beating on the pandemic. They're growing and they're gaining on this. Exactly. Why do you think this happened? Do you think there was a reason why?
I think that they've had I think that regardless of what happens in the pandemic, it's good for Disney. I think if the pandemic gets worse and COVID gets worse, people stay home and they watch The Mandalorian. And I think if it gets better, they go out and they see everything else. Disney has so many facets of its business. It's acquired so many other things. Disney owns all of media, whether we're talking about Star Wars, we're talking about Marvel, we're talking about everything. Disney owns it for the most part in media. And so I don't think, I think regardless of what happens, they've covered and they've diversified enough where they'll be okay, even if COVID gets worse, even if it gets better. And I think the numbers show that.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, when I first heard of Disney Plus, I was like, yeah, they're going to be able to have content. There's a lot of old content, right? I mean,
Brink,
Yeah, but my biggest question, and was always my concern at the beginning of Disney Plus, was what new content can they bring? What exclusive titles can they bring? I never thought at that point in time, this was probably, we're talking September 2019. I didn't think that, the pandemic was coming. So I didn't think the movies were going to be able to go directly to the consumer. I think that's what really changed this and changed the story, because they didn't expect to get to these subscriber numbers until 5 years, 6 years down the line. And they cut that in 2 a year. Why? Because of, I think, the pandemic and also exclusive titles coming out on their platform. And now I think that's what changed between the second quarter and the third quarter. You saw really good results for the Black Widow. You saw them come out with a couple of movies. I think that's what's bringing up their subscribers. If they can continue bringing out those exclusive movies right on Disney Plus, I think you continue seeing those subscriber numbers run.
Exactly. 100%. I think Disney does a great job at pandering to the older people like me. They have old movies that I used to watch on Disney, like Smart House and Brink and all these OG movies that used to come on. And so I bought Disney Plus just for that, but they also have Star Wars. So yeah, Disney will be good. And beautiful chart. I was lucky enough to be holding Disney, but I'm holding Disney long-term into that earnings release. So I made a good few bucks on Disney. But I'm still holding it. I'm holding Disney for the next 5 years. Probably it's one of my long-term stocks. And yeah, I think it's just going to keep going up.
Sunday bringing up a good conversation here. One of the things that has been talked about is rumors of ESPN trying to create their own sports betting platform. I think that would be a massive move. The question is, how do you really separate ESPN from Disney, right? Everyone kind of really connects it hand in hand. And so you got to be careful with there, because one of the things that I've seen is that they like to advertise a lot for Disney products on ESPN. Like they'll be advertising their movies. And I mean, I understand why, you're just using your partnership there to try to get some cheap advertisement. But at the end of the day, this is also where, you're going to have that battle of, well, how much do we want to be sports betting in the sports news? Right. And so they're going to have that battle. I think you're going to see them definitely try to lean over the top and get towards sports betting. We'll see if they get in there. Sunday is a great conversation for sure. And we'll see if sports betting gets into ESPN. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, ESPN did a good move, I think, with UFC at first. I think that's what's keeping them a little bit alive there, kind of a new trending sport. And people really watch ESPN now for UFC coverage.
For sure.
Let's go ahead. Let's shift on over. Let's get into a little bit of a DraftKings action. I don't know if you guys saw what came out recently, but did you see this? Tom Brady NFT from Autographed. I think there was actually an autograph version of it coming out today. If it wasn't yesterday, I don't know if Chris Ketchy's in the chat. I know he's a monster trying to get those Tom Brady's. I was thinking about getting one, but I mean, these things sold out in like less than, I think, like the first 5 minutes or something like that, wasn't it, John?
I get it. Yeah, it was fast, and understandably so. I mean, people understand the significance of the NFT world. The NFTs are the new sports cards. They're the new sports collectibles. And so when one that's an easy and obvious sell drops, people accumulate, people jump on it. Investors see that opportunity and they want to be a part of it and they want to hold that. And so, of course, it's getting bought up quickly. I probably, if I could have, I would have, but
there's my boy. Look at my boy. Autograph series right now. Drop at 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 p.m., guys.
He's on it.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it, guys. No, I mean, it's super exciting to see at least some good kind of athletes coming with the NFTs. And I think the next one up is going to be Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, yeah. The hockey man. Listen, I used to play hockey as a kid in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, weirdly enough. But
you used to yell it out,
Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, yeah, dude. I used to be we used to have the Kingfish in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is like a kind of like the equivalent of a AA or AAA hockey team. But yeah, I think big sports stars getting behind NFTs is great for both, DraftKings. I think this is great for DraftKings. I think this drop of Tom Brady's NFT on the DraftKings marketplace is great for them. It helps them expand into that market. And it also helps the NFT world, which we've seen a little bit of quietness in the stock market. Like when I'm looking at NFT stocks, they've been a little stagnant lately. I still think NFTs are the future. And I think having big name deals and big name partnerships with sports stars like this, especially Tom Brady, who's the biggest name probably in the NFL, I think it's great for the overall NFT sector as well as DraftKings. So it just makes me a little bit more bullish on DraftKings as well.
I'd have to pay attention a little bit to this trend. Someone's bringing up a trend that supposedly some streaming services are on the downside. I don't really see that, but we'll pay attention to that. With DraftKings, one of the things that I noticed that they started going into, John, and you can tell me what you think about it, is they started to dip their toes in sports bars. I think that's actually not the worst thing. One of the things is, I mean, a lot of us are going to be watching these games that we're betting on going to a sports bar. So they said, why not us be the sports bar, right?
Right. Have a name brand, just like kind of like the UFC did with the UFC gym, where they opened up UFC gyms all across the country. Same thing. You get DraftKings bars. You can go to DraftKings bars. Now, the real key is getting legalization for sports betting, but I guess it's already legal for the most part. You can go bet, pick your cards, interact with people while you do it. I think it's a great idea.
Definitely. I'm going to keep watching this. I mean, at the end of the day, one of the things that DraftKings does is it's the battle of the customer. And I think they're going to keep going for that customer. If they got to give you bonuses, they will, man. I'm telling you, because I use them.
Me too. My favorite things in the world, sports betting, they just need to legalize it fully here so I can take advantage.
Definitely. Let's go ahead. Let's get into a next topic here, guys. We need to go ahead and smash the like, guys. I want to get into the last topic of the day. We need 100 likes, and it looks like I'm going to be sad about this if this is real. This is real. I don't know. I might have to end right now.
Seeing the
20 likes?
right?
Come on, bro.
Do better,
Come
guys.
on.
Don't be stingy here. Come on, y'all hit the like button. Free content here. Free content. Hit the like button.
I'm about to go drink my beer and go watch some TV if you guys want me to. I mean, the day's done. It's 4:00. I'm here with you guys. You guys do me a favor. Smash that like. Let's get it up there. All right. Looks like we're finally starting to get up there a little bit. 26, 31. We need 100. Whoever hit the unlike, the door is that way. Don't let it hit you.
Oh yeah, I'm pushing it to my people. I'm pushing it to my people now. Let's hopefully get some likes in here.
Let's go. One thing I want to take a look here is Bitcoin. What are you thinking about Bitcoin? I mean, in the long run, I think every time I tell myself to get some of this, I stay away. But for some reason, I feel like I shouldn't be staying away. What are you thinking? Right. What are you thinking, John?
Dude, so I've told this story many times. Back when Bitcoin was 3,500, Mitch told me to buy it. He told me to buy it. Of course, I didn't listen back then. This was like years ago. And of course, now that Bitcoin's at 47,000, it's a big mistake for not listening to Mitch in that specific point in time. But I will say that on this previous pullback to 30K, I finally bought that dip. I bought the dip. I'm up really nicely. I finally took a piece in a few different platforms. I bought some Bitcoin, and I'm sitting up nice, a good percentage at this point in time from that. I thought 30K, beautiful, confirmed support level. We've tested it many times. I think it's a big psychological level, and so I think that the fact that we respected that level again is great for Bitcoin. But I also think that Bitcoin is kind of more of like an accumulation play. I think it's something that you just need to accumulate because over time it'll only become more and more expensive. I used to be a hater of Bitcoin, but I've kind of changed, went to the dark side, and I'm more in the accumulation stage of buying Bitcoin at this point, I think.
No, definitely. It's something to pay attention to. One of the things is whenever you got those multiple lows, at least you got something to go off of. I was actually looking for a breakdown of that. I was talking with some other people about 20,000 or 25, never got a chance for it. And I mean, I can't blame you for taking your shot there. It definitely looked like a bear pattern and just reversed really quickly. And that's what you want to see. I mean, that just gives us that ability to start really getting into a pattern here and developing over time. But I do like the approach that you're talking about. I think this is something that you definitely just have to keep attacking and kind of adding to your position long term, thinking about it that, hey, I'm not going to look for the profits this year, next year, then the following year, maybe not even after that. I'm looking for 5 years, 10 years down the line where I can take a massive profit from this and then kind of, pay those taxes that we got to pay. But
it's the modern day retirement. It's what a lot of people are doing where, conventionally you put it in a 401k. I think a lot of people are just depositing, just buying up Bitcoin and planning to hold it until
Would that
retirement.
have been a bad move? I mean, 2 years ago? I mean,
no, not at all, man. Listen, and it keeps going up, and, it's one of those things where it's the modern day retirement fund. It's what a lot of people are doing. And you just have to have the discipline to just buy dollar cost average on pullbacks and, let it sit, accumulate coins, I should say.
All right. Well, I'll do this for the chat. I know a lot of people have been talking about this one. Let's take a look right quick. Cardano.
Oh, man.
Hey, it's gone through the $2 point today. I saw people talking about that. Let's take a look here a little bit deeper time frame. Looks like 3 months, 1 year. Let's see. Let's go for the 1 year chart and let's do a little bit of a candles here.
Beautiful chart.
Beautiful support there multiple times. I mean, you could attack there. The lows here, 104. The low here, 93 cents. The low here, 99 cents. Multiple lows, 98 cents. So, I mean, $1. You see people were attacking that $1 low. That's a lot of the things that I think you can find in crypto is at least go for those long-term supports and not like short time frames. Like if you're looking at short time frames for crypto, I think you're just asking to get beat, really.
It's risky. It's risky. And
have you seen that thing on a 1 minute?
Yeah, bro. It doesn't look pretty for me as a short-term scalper in stocks. Like that's what I do. I scalp short-term. Scalping Bitcoin and scalping any type of coin really on a really short-term basis does not look super favorable to me. But Cardano, I actually had a member of my chat called Mohammed Shalabi. He put me on Cardano like 7 months ago, and I just want to thank him because, man, I listened to him, and I've been holding Cardano for 7 months now.
Look what it is. My man got some Cardano.
Right, yeah, and I'm holding a few different cryptos. I've been breaking into that market. I'm holding like Algo, Cardano, a few other kind of niche coins, but Cardano's probably been the best performer, and so it's one of those ones where I'm kind of treating it like Bitcoin. I'm accumulating on pullbacks. I'm holding into the pushes and just letting it work.
I can't blame you for that at all. I mean, it's definitely something that I've wanted to dip my toes. Maybe just something that, a lot of times I ask myself, do I know this? And I feel like a lot of times the answer is no. And so I try to stick to things that I know. So, hey, you know how it is. I'll tell you one thing. I lost on that Doge.
Honestly, I was the luckiest with Doge, bro. I bought Doge right before it ripped, just completely on accident. I would love to be like I'm the greatest crypto trader ever. It was just purely luck. Just kind of said, hey, my chat likes Doge, I'm buying, and I got lucky. So Doge, I held on to it a little bit too long too, though.
Yeah, it was a tough one for sure. Right. I mean, I tried to go after it, after the whole frenzy around the 30-cent support, but I mean, we saw how that held up.
Yeah, the 420 craziness. I got stuck in that. I had people telling me, "Oh, it's gonna rip on 420," and then it just crashes there. So buy the rumor, sell the news. That's the reality.
Hey, that's how it's gonna be, and I think it will continue to be like that. I mean, there's gonna be moments where these really take big moves. I think what it teaches me is that you really have to kind of size in accordingly on these. So a lot of the times that's going to be maybe not even going all in at once, maybe not even all in 1 week, trying to measure out where the supports are so that you can use multiple spots to definitely get your best average. And I think it's something definitely that you have to look at for a long-term gain, at least a year out. And if you look at it like that, I do not think these are bad trades. I mean, we've been seeing the waves in the game, and yeah, there's going to be waves on the downside and there's going to be waves on the upside. But the biggest thing is we see the supports are holding and then they're beginning breakouts. As long as supports are holding, at least we can have a level to go off of.
Exactly. Some of these have really beautiful technical charts, and from a technical trader, like you said, Mitch, you just look for confirmed levels and you buy into those levels and you just hold long term. If you get greedy and you sell into every single pop, these things pop 10% and drop 10% daily. You want to hold and you want to accumulate most of the time with these, and you just got to pick out technology that you like. They're all based off of algorithms, and so you pick out algorithms and tech you like, and you just buy and sit. That's what I've been doing, at least.
So SG asking here a question, and I think I'm gonna shoot it to you, John. What are you thinking here? Are we kind of getting into these levels where it's just a little extended? What are you thinking here?
So I'm a pullback buyer myself, and so me personally, I'm never buying when it's breaking highs like this. I don't think that's the best time to buy. I usually accumulate on pullbacks, and so I wait for significant 10-20% pullbacks, buy it, and then let it sit. And so me personally, again, not an investment professional, don't sue me, but I'm not buying right here. I'm not buying right here, but if I was going to buy it, I'd wait for a pullback most likely.
Definitely. I would say at least because you have kind of like these downtrends that it broke out of. You went to these levels and you kind of really broke out of 132, then made a move up here to 166. Is $2 coming? Yeah, it could come right back up to those levels, but you could come back and test first like 130s, 125s. So you don't want to go and try to overextend yourself too much here. There's a difference if you had an entry, let's say down here by 125 and you want to add up here. That I could kind of see you doing, trying to get the breakout. But really it's a tough area to go ahead and say, okay, now I'm going to start taking an attempt in this stock.
Right. That $1 area looks good. I'm not saying buy it there, but it's confirmed it a bunch.
Yeah. I mean, we saw that right on the all chart. And then if you look let's look at this, guys. Right. Look how every time when it comes down to those dollar points, that's where you should have been, at least from the chart. That's where we could see the best risk to return on the buy point. All right, let's go ahead. Let's smash that like. Let's see if we can get up there to the likes. If not, we're probably just going to end up here, guys. We need 100 likes. We only got 46. We got over 180 people watching. So, hey, if you guys want us to stay on. If not, we will wrap it up here. Like always, John and I trade on a weekly basis. Right now, I've been really into the gambling plays, scoring in on RSI, waiting for Genie to continue moving. I have some DraftKings I've been adding all week, John. I've been waiting for a nice breakout. I did sell some to this first move, but I'm expecting to at least get up there to 55, 57, maybe even 60 sometime next week. I'll keep watching those plays. Are there any plays that have been really kind of kicking it on your radar?
I know SPRT went a little bit crazy today, but I kind of agree with you with DraftKings. DraftKings has been one of my favorite stocks lately. I think the extent of its expansion into other markets and other sectors is great. I think it's one of my favorite things, which is sports betting, and I think it's expanding into NFTs. It's expanding into all that stuff. And so I think DraftKings is one of the ones I'm most bullish in. I got to agree with you. DraftKings is one I'm holding as well. I'm up nicely in it, and I think I'm going to hold it for a while. So.
All right, so I'm getting a shout out here from Chris letting me know that Sonos is really jumping there. It looks like they're jumping after a judge ruled a Google infringed on 5 patents. So a battle between Sonos and Google there. I had to take a look at the stock itself, but it's probably doing well. I mean, let me go ahead and take a look. It's ripping.
Yeah, it's up to
got ourselves a runner.
That's right. It's moving. Good volume in after hours too.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Yeah, so it's a big push up.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for the news, Chris. Like always, helping out. Smash the like. That's what it's all about. Let's go ahead. We got up there to 56 likes. Looks like we're not going to get enough likes to get into our next topic. I'm kind of sad because I wanted to talk about it. I think John did too, but hey. That's what it's all about, right? We gotta go ahead, appreciate us, give us the likes, and then we definitely stick around for an extra time. But looks like today's not going to be that day. Like always, guys, smash the like. We'll get into some things like we always do on this show, because guess what? This is about the stories, guys. That's the right. Next stories I'm going to be looking at, John, are LiDARs. I think you're going to see big focus. And now that we got the infrastructure bill completely done, one of the focus is going to be charging stations. And I think another focus is going to be LiDAR. So focus on those two. I think those are going to be pretty big in the next 6 months. So I'm not talking about right now, because I don't want to talk about the trend right now, because the trend right now, that doesn't make anybody anything, right? So let's start looking for future trends. What is coming in the next 3 months? What is coming in the next 6 months? Try to stay ahead of the market. And if you guys have a story to bring to Money Mitch, you guys let me know. We'll bring you on here. And just like always, John, where can everybody find you?
Hey, y'all can find me at youtube.com/beginner trading. We trade live, drop videos every weekend. So come subscribe, hang out with us. And love being on the show. We'll hopefully be back soon.
Definitely. Like always, guys, check me out. We're on Monday and Tuesday. We actually go through stocks. We're not just kicking back on the happy hour. We do this and we go through the story stocks. Friday, we like to have fun and talk about the stories. And like always, we're going to be here on Money Mitch. You guys can find me on Twitter, Story Investors. Check out John on the weekend. He does some things on Sundays, a little watch list action. You guys can check him out. I think that's 6 p.m. Eastern is the time right now. So definitely check that out Sunday nights. If you guys do some little watch lists, why not build with John?
And come hang out.
And come check it out on Sunday. Like always, guys, we'll see you next time on Money Mitch. It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now, we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.